reverse grid, and we're reversing the top 9. But Jeremy Gray has a 5-spot grid penalty, so Kim Jane is the man who will go to pole position.
Reverse grid sends shivers down my spine, but that's what I'm here for. I came to watch this reverse grid race for the V8 Utes, so I can't wait.
Everyone knows that things get a little bit crazy around street circuits and Utes, and when you make it a reverse grid race, it gets even crazier, especially with some of the big guys at the back. Elliot Barber, Stephen White, Ryan Hansford, all very fast guys towards the back of this grid, and keep an eye out for the way that they'll be ripping through.
Definitely adding fuel to the fire, reverse grid. 5-second board, ready for the start.
Ben Dunn will be starting off dead last, and he's got some good speed this weekend, so let's see how many he can get through. It's Jane and Fisher on the front row. Good jump for Fisher. It's a staggered grid here. Great start for Ryle Harris. He goes to the outside of Walton, and it's Jeremy Gray up the inside trying to fight his way back from that penalty. He could have been on pole position, and it's Kim Jane who leads him into turn 1.
All very courteous going through the first chicane there. No major contact. Reece McNally clipped the wall a little bit, but nothing too drastic.
Trying to cover Cedars on the inside. We're on board with Mediki, and whack! A couple of huge hits between himself and Ryle Harris.
Ryle Harris just giving George no room on the exit there, but somehow these guys can destroy each other, bash into each other, and they get no damage. But 3 wide into the back chicane, this is messy.
Oh, Jeremy Gray lifted. Thank goodness for that, because it was going to be chaos going into the back chicane. Harris is sideways. The tap-out energy Ute is a little slow off the exit, and this gives Mediki a run.
What are you talking about? Everyone was sideways. Mediki into the back of Harris, into turn 11, side by side, bashing doors. None of them have got any mirrors left now. They've only done half a lap.
Well, he's not going to be able to see what's going on behind him, but it's Walton who's going to try and get past both of them. They're still banging doors. This has gone on for the whole lap, and it's going to go on again. Mediki got to be careful, doesn't want to catch the tyres. Wanda Payne's on board right now. He actually set a lap record in race 1, and Walton will try and sneak up the inside and gets that spot.
Well done. Walton was just waiting for those guys to clear the way. They kept blocking the track. He couldn't find a way through, but good move up the inside there.
And whoa! That's Todd Zani, the Easy Tax Holden, has had a huge wreck on the back straight. Look at the damage to the right-hand side, and Ben Dunn, was he a part of this? That's a different part of the racetrack. He's backing it all the way down.
Ben Dunn has my favourite sponsor, Red Arse Mexican Food. He needed to eat some of that Mexican food before the start of this race, starting down the back.
Oh, that's Wilson having a bit of a fight with Marjoram, and the rest of the boys piling in. This is on board with Wilson. Up the inside. Slam.
Way too late on the brakes. It all just banked up on him. He wasn't looking far enough ahead. Somehow he got through.
Wow, look at the background. Rare Spares on board. Is that Peter Burnett, who was up on 2 wheels? It looked like he was about to flip. He hadn't even got to the chicane yet.
He's facing the wrong direction in every way possible.
And that's what's happened with Todd Zani.
Major front-end damage on Todd Zani's car.
This gives a bit more of an idea. This is on board with Wilson. Whoa, hold on. Oh, if he caught that edge of the curb any more than he did then, that could have gone the whole way over. That was scary.
That's it. Oh, Becky needs a wheel alignment. He's got a lot of toe in there, but obviously some damage from that first lap contact with Ryle Harris. He will be devastated at that.
Oh, well, his race is done for. Petter's STP safety car is out on track. We need a breather. Racing continues in Service Paradise. It's the Armour All Gold Coast 600, and these are the Auto 1 V8 Utes, protected by Armour All, and Harris is lurking here. This is the battle for the lead behind Kim Jane, and he's so desperate for championship points. He could definitely do with a race win. Cedars a little bit back further in the pack. Here comes our championship leader right now. It's pinching that right front as he takes the hairpin. This is the battle for second. Now, this is how Harris got that move done. Just a bit of a dive bomb.
Big lunge up the inside. You can hear the human ABS. He did a beautiful job stopping that car because he was right on the limit. And Chris Walton, he's about to lose a mirror. I can tell you now. I'm psychic. And it's gone. Told you.
Yep. Look how that is a great shot. Rare Spares on board, and these mirrors are pretty rare this weekend. They're getting smashed all over the place.
They will be by Monday. There'll be no stock left anywhere.
So this is the battle for the lead. Pinching the front left on the entries. The weight evacuates the left front tyre.
Ryle Harris getting a good run out of there. He's driving like a man possessed, and he's got his sights set on Kim Jane, that's for sure.
You've got to be careful with these races that get shortened with safety cars. You never know when they're going to end. So Race hard, get as many positions as you can as soon as you get half an opportunity, and carry as much speed through turn 1, 2 and 3 as possible. Maybe set up a passing move.
Look at Harris just cutting that first chicane and got a great run. See, that's exactly what we're talking about. You know, sometimes when you're right behind someone, risk a little bit more. Inside front locked, light contact, but nothing major. That's what this racing's all about. And Kim Jane's come out in front, so he's going to have the run down to the back chicane. That was close. Great stuff, though.
Awesome racing, man. This is such good stuff. The Utes are turning it on in the sunshine. Gold Coast, down the back straight. The beach is right next to them as they bounce over the curbs once again, and Harris is going to try and get that run back once more. Here we go again. Oh, yellow flags, be careful.
So Roll Harris got a great run out of that back chicane, but can he do anything about it? I think he was clear with the green flags, but nearly caused his own yellow flag here. He's just saved it. ABS, human ABS again, and Kim Jane's back in front.
This is great stuff. He's going to hang on the outside. If he can do this, he'll be in the right position for the right-hander, and he finally gets the move made. I'm pretty sure he'll be okay with the yellows and greens down the back of the circuit as well. And this is interesting. We've had Harris take the lead, but Walton's dropped out of third. Something's happened to Walton. So I wonder where that's all gone wrong for Killer, because Andrew Fisher's moved up to third, but this is big for the championship as the X-Force exhaust system fire out a big double flamer at the back of Kim Jane. Can he get the run on Royal Harris, the kid, through turn 1? He needs to take as much of that curb as possible.
He needs to take as much curb as Royal Harris has been taking, but Kim Jane definitely not letting Royal Harris get away, and you can see him getting a little bit hungrier on the entry to the turn 1 chicane this lap, so he's definitely learning something now with a lap or two under his belt.
He's trying to get the speed in the exit, but it's the entry where he needs to find more speed coming into these chicanes. What's going on here? Rest Bears replay. Oh, Giannis Derhams.
That was messy. Looks like he may have had, and here we go, Ben Dunn weaving his way through the carnage, but looks like he may have had a suspension failure or something through that back chicane.
Yeah, that would explain why we had the yellow flags down there, but we're pretty sure that the move was legal between these two. A few laps left, and Royal Harris is the man at the front, and he's got a pretty good advantage now because David Cedars is back in the pack a little bit here, so this will shake up the championship a bit.
Royal Harris with carnage all over his car, heavy damage on the right-hand side. His car actually looks like it's not tracking straight down the straight as well. It looks like it's crab walking a little bit, so not ideal. You can see it there, the little bit rear end's a little bit out to the left, but anyway, he's still trucking along all right out in front.
He's powering on. Now, don't look now, but the Jesus Racing unit of Andrew Fisher is really catching up to these guys, and I wonder if he's going to make this a three-way battle for the lead with only a couple laps left around Service Paradise. This is going to get exciting. Here comes Fish.
And Harris just got a couple of car lengths gap, a little bit of safety margin, you know, be able to relax a little bit. No, won't have to look in the mirror, doesn't have to worry about where Kim Jane's going to stick his nose in next. But as you said, Fisher closing right up on the back of Kim Jane.
So lap record as well has been taken back by Royal Harris. Cedars came in with the weekend's lap record, then Mediki took it in race 1, and now Royal Harris has taken it back. But this is all about the championship now. Harris needs race wins. That's why we're seeing him drive so aggressively in Bathurst. He's not afraid to use the doors, not afraid to use the bumpers. He needs to win races. Oh no, speaking of the championship, the series leader is facing backwards in the final corner. The Mindsight Fencing Australia Ford has been turned around, or has he looped it around? And this is huge for the championship, and now Harris in the wall.
Well, clearly Harris just wanted to even up the damage on both sides of his car. We're talking about the right-hand side of his car being stoved in, so now the left-hand side's nice and even.
Now, but has this given the advantage to Kim Jane? Here comes the Bob Jane T-Marts ute. Goes to the left, looks to the right.
Weaving all over the road.
Not the spot to do it, though. He can't get a run through here, and Harris is so fast over the curves. Look at that, bang. Bounces straight over it. This is what Alex Premer, French V8 supercar driver, calls the baguettes down the back straight. Maybe he's just referring to what he wanted for lunch. And here comes Fisher. He's going to have a look. Oh, he came in too shallow. Locks the fronts.
Lucky to scrape through that corner there. You can see Royal Harris is so good over the curbs and so good through that back chicane. It takes the pressure off himself when he gets down to turn 11, which is one of the couple of legitimate passing spots around this Gold Coast circuit. And Chris Walton, after a bit of a pit stop, we're not actually sure why he disappeared off the circuit, but he's popped back out into the field in about the same spot he was in before, but obviously a lap down, unfortunately, for Chris.
Nathan Pretty looking good in the points this weekend. Maybe on for a front row start for the final race in the Milwaukee Power Tools ute. And Jeremy Gray, if he didn't have that race penalty, oh now, what is this what happened to Cedars, I wonder? Oh, Jesse Dixon, no! No!
What was he doing? He's taken out the championship leader. Poor Cedars. He was probably trying to stay out of trouble. Nice points lead, and that's what happens. But we know how hard Royal Harris has been going over the curbs.
And this is the mirror. It's whimpering. It's saying,
the mirror.
please,
I don't. Even his car up. He's giving a wheel alignment.
We just like him to be perfect. On the streets of Service Paradise. Come back perfectly symmetrical. That tap out. You don't worry about it. Final lap, and the battle at the front is still going on. Harris using those curbs nicely to take a bit more of a lead in this race.
And Kim Jane making up a bit of ground through the back chicane there. He's getting better and better every lap he follows Royal Harris through those curbs.
Pretty's just staying out of trouble. Now there's our man who's a lap down in Walton. Reece McNally coming home for another top 5 and maybe even on for a podium position here this weekend after a good qualifying session. Last few corners now. Royal Harris on the run home is about to take a huge step in the championship. He lost the championship lead at Bathurst. This weekend, though, it's just been flipped upside down because Cedars is facing backwards and is outside the top 20. Unbelievable race in terms of the championship. He's been using the bumpers, he's been using the doors.
He's been using the walls, he's been using all the circuit and a little bit more, but he's left nothing in the garage, and that's exactly what he needs to do, trying to fight back in the championship.
So Royal Harris takes the race win. It's his 5th win on the streets of Surfers Paradise. Claimed his first when he was just 19 years old back in 2005 on a weekend when the late Alan Simonson took out the round win. So that's a nice little touch there for Royal Harris. The car might not look the same as it did before the start of the race, but he's got the points, which is what he needs. Kim Jane home for 2nd, but the big news there is Cedars way outside the top 20. Massive for the championship. We'll go over the page, and the rest of the boys coming home. Kem Wilson trying to consolidate his weekend after a personal best in qualifying as well. But Kylie's with our race winner.
Roll, you looked like you were certainly on a mission in that one.
Yeah, well, we started 6th, got a really good start. I was in position 4 going into the first chicane, got on the inside of Madiki and into the hairpin, and we had a bit of a coming together coming out. I thought I gave him enough room, and he thought I didn't, and we had a look at the footage afterwards, and we both sort of come to the agreement that it was just a racing incident, fortunately. But charged through, we picked off Kimbo and Fisher, and come home for the win. We needed it more than anything right at that moment, just to get ourselves back in the points, and unfortunately Dave had a bad race, so I think we're back in the championship lead.
And the next time that we see these guys, we're off to the streets of Sydney around Homebush. Round 8 of the championship is the final round in the early weeks of summer. It's been a big one. Thanks to everyone who's involved. I'm just going to let the pictures say goodbye.